Good morning, brave awakened ones. Lady V here, integrative holistic health nurse, medical empathic intuitive, Reiki master, energy healer, certified EFT tapping. Sorry, having a throat chakra thing been going on since late last night. But every time I tried to meditate this morning, more and more of this of this of this thing that this video I have to do for you kept pouring out, and I just couldn't stop writing in the tiniest of post-its with the worst of pens. Okay, so it's this video is all about Lightworker rights. You do have rights, okay, and it's about setting healthy boundaries and limits. Now I would like to know if anybody knows, does $11.99 take Lightworkers? Can we join the union? Because we're going to end up needing one, okay? As Lightworkers, you are working outside of the norm, okay? And the norm, I mean the norm of 3D. You are existing and working outside the norm of 3D. And 3D, what is 3D based on? The basic programming of 3D is narcissism. It's not to say every human soul that is working off of 3D is a narcissist. The agenda that 3D pushes as a basic programming, there's many programmings in 3D, but the basis of it is narcissism. Fear, narcissism, two basics of 3D. And narcissism pushes the agenda of service to self. Fear pushes the agenda of service to self. Okay? The Lightworker agenda, the higher realm agenda, is based on service to others, universal, divine, unconditional compassion, love. That is what we run off of as Lightworkers. And it's not to say some Lightworkers don't have their foot in both realms, because they certainly do. And I've been running into many of them doing my channel. And the importance of this video right now, this recording right now, is so many second wavers are here now at 0 point, entering their Lightworkership. Let's put it that way. You're entering your Lightworkership. And also when it comes to first wavers and even third wavers, you know, we run into this issue when it comes to setting healthy boundaries. And it starts with the people closest to you. They're the ones who are going to violate your boundaries, test your limits the most. Okay? And I'll give a great example, because that's the way I'm guided to teach, is through my example. Like I say, I took one real hard for the team. That was part of my Lightworker agenda growing up, is my daughter. She's not a narcissist. She is actually a older earth soul who came through me because she wanted an accelerated ascension. She wanted to be part of this ascension, to ascend her own soul, to go through the next level. Whereas my son, he's a different soul, completely different soul. He's not an earth soul. He's an angel soul. He was my guardian angel who came through me in a very unselfish act, as angels do, of course, to get me on my right path. And he decided, hey, I want to experience this ascension also. So he decided to hang out on Earth for a while to do so. He basically told me his entire life plan when he was like 11 months old. That's when he divulged who and what he is completely. When I was pregnant, he divulged he was my angel. I just didn't believe him until he came to me in an apparition in his true form. He had to show his true form to me. Any which ways, my daughter, who is the earth soul, okay, born in a 3D, born operating from a 3D mode, where I was born operating from a 4D mode. She was born operating from a 3D mode. And she chose me to ascend through. Now, I had to draw some serious boundaries with this chick. My daughter's 28 years old. And she has a baby. And I'm saying this is not, I'm not, blowing my daughter's spot. She already knows. We already spoke about this. Very recently, last year, she had her child, kid's almost 2, and her and baby daddy broke up. So she moved in with me. My son was very unhappy about it. So he left, went to New York, go to school in New York, because he knows how my daughter pushes boundaries and limits. And what are you going to do when your kid is sick? She was very sick from the pregnancy, and has a baby. So I let her move in with me. And I knew it was going to be rough. And in order to get her going, because this boundary setting is not just for you. As a light worker, you boundary set and limit set out of complete unconditional divine love. Now, the tactics you take, hey, you got to do what you do with what you got. That's all I got to say. All right. So I had to do with what I had. All right. In order to get her going and on her feet, because I knew staying with me in Miami Beach with baby daddy around acting crazy was very unhealthy for her and the baby. And I was shown, I prayed on it. I said oversoul, and I connected to her oversoul and her guides and angels. I specifically to her guardian angels. And I said, show me what I need to do to help her, because if she stays here, things are going to go real bad. And I was shown what to do. And what I had to do was I had to pack my stuff and say, hey, since your brother's not here, I don't need this big place. I'm going to downsize. She called me a terrible grandmother. She called me a terrible mother. It all rolled off my back like water off a duck's back, because I knew the truth. And it drove her even more crazy because I didn't get upset. When you know the truth, you don't get upset. They could throw a tantrum. She broke stuff. Just called me the worst names in the book. Everything that her narcissistic father called me, she threw at me. And it all rolled off of me. I literally did not get upset, which drove her nuts, because I knew the truth. I was like, oh, girl, I'm going to get you out of here. You're not going to like it, but it's for your highest and best good. And that's what you ask for when you're at that point where you have to set some serious, strong boundaries and limits on someone that you love, like your child or your mother or your husband or your wife. You have to, or your dad, whoever, coworker, anyone very close to you, a best friend. You got to set that hard boundary, because if you allow them to cross it, it's going to severely damage you, and it's going to even more so severely damage them. Actually, you being the light worker, you're enlightened, you know better, you're awakened. Okay, they don't, so they don't know the damage it's going to cause their life. You could rebound a lot quicker than they can. That's what you have to understand when you're doing this out of love. So I had to tell her, yeah, I'm downsizing. I even packed some stuff. I'm going to get maybe a 1-bedroom or studio. I actually can't even afford this place anymore. That's what I had to say to her. Okay. She got pissed off. I'm like, why don't you go down to ATL, and your grandmother's retired? You have your aunt there and all the kids, everybody's there. She'll be around her cousins, blah, blah. She got angry, and I said, hey, I'll even pay for you to go, which I did. And she went. And within a few, not even a few months, it was like a month and a half of her being there. She was introduced through a mutual friend to this wonderful, amazing guy, because her fear was, who's going to want me? I have a brand new baby. I gained like 50 pounds. I don't feel pretty anymore. She had all those insecurities that a new mom has, which is completely natural, especially when you're not with the father of the child. The single mom syndrome, I called it. I had the single mom syndrome, and it's a tough one to break. And I said, my daughter's not going to go down that fear route to have a narcissist abuse her and her kid and manipulate and stuff like that. I'm going to break that cycle. And it's, as me as the light worker, I did it. She did not know. She was unaware, kicking and screaming, little human soul, right? So sent her packed up and shipped off to Atlanta. Went down there, helped her settle in. Within a month and a half, she met the love of her life. She's moved in with him. They're engaged. They're about to buy a beautiful home. He is, let's put it this way, he actually doesn't even have to work. He doesn't work because he has, freelance. And if he never wanted to work, he could retire where he is right now. And he's in his 30s and she's 28. So he has it like that. Okay. Educated, got it like that. the complete opposite of what she was dealing with down here in Miami. Complete opposite. And now she's happy. The baby's so happy. He's happy, the fiance, because he always wanted a family. And he's like, he got an instant family with her and the baby. Everybody's happy. And I'm happy. And no, I did not move. I unpacked my stuff. And she's like, oh, so you decided to stay, huh? I'm like, oh yeah, I decided to stay. I didn't reveal to her right away what I did. You know, I let her get settled in and be happy first. I recently revealed this to her. And she's like, oh, she goes, wow. I was like, well, because I told you she's partly awakened, and she gets very angry with me, blaming me for her awakening that she's trying to stop so desperately. Okay. And she's like, I said, see, you went through your dark night of the soul and I helped you along your path because you couldn't see it. And now look where you are. You had to go through what you had to. She's like, I don't want to hear it. Shut up with your stupid spiritual crap. But whatever, it's in her face and she can't deny it. She can deny all she wants, but her heart and soul knows the truth. So that's my story. My major story on setting boundaries and limits, okay? And as you come out as a light worker, as you come out more and more and more, second wavers, because first wavers, we've been out, but you know, we're leveling it up also. So it's new boundaries, okay? You're going to have people, you know, grabbing at you. You have to set those limits because you will be drained. You'll have nothing for yourself. Like they say, put the oxygen mask on yourself first before you could put it on anybody else, because you'll end up dead. Okay? While you're helping everyone around you, you're going to end up dropping dead. So, you know, on your channels, on your blogs, when you're out, you know, doing energy work, when you're out teaching, when you're out doing whatever, and you don't have to be a teacher or energy worker to be a light worker. There's an infinite amount of ways. It doesn't matter. You could be a janitor, but if you're a janitor who's you know, taking pride in his work and talking to the kids in the school and giving them advice, don't mistake what you do. Don't negate what you do. Don't belittle what you do. Okay? I did that when I was being a conventional nurse. It used to piss me off. And then I finally got hip to it and said, universe, give me at least one person today that I could help raise them up. And I would get that person or two people, and it would make my day and make sense to me being there, because I just did not like, I don't like conventional medicine. And especially, you know, where I was working in surgery and everything, doing procedures that I felt completely unnecessary, that made no sense to me, that upset me, that caused more harm than good to the people. It drove me insane, and I felt like part of the mess, you know? So I was like, give me one person that I could feel good, that because it makes me feel so good to help others, because it's a service to others program I'm running on. So I need that. It feeds my soul. It gets me going every single day, that's the number one thing is you as a light worker, especially second wavers, when you're like, oh, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, I'm not performing miracles, basically. Why can't I be you? Because you're made to do something else, okay? Don't look at someone else. Like I said, don't compare your journeys to anyone else. Set your limits appropriately, because you'll have plenty of people coming up to you, especially once you're on that path. You're on that 5D path. They're all going to be clinging at you. You know, you can't grab every hand. You can only grab one hand at a time. Or if you're a master builder, or if you're meant to be on a grander stage, you could influence many, you know, at once. But you still don't allow that many to pull you down. You know, like I'm on a bigger stage. I'm meant to influence more people. And actually, my level up is going to go even bigger than this, a lot bigger. But I get plenty of people making comments and sending emails that are 10 pages long who think I'm going to read it. Like I said, again, I see those emails, I'm going to automatically delete them, because that's not fair. That's like a whole session. You know, I'm not going to sit there for half an hour figuring out your issues. Go book a session. And that's not fair to other people who just have, you know, a single question. Like I said, I don't mind quickie questions. I'm very happy to answer quickie questions that I could answer in 5 minutes and move on to the next and help the next person. you know, or people who they'll send in 3 separate emails and 3 separate questions. That's not fair to other people who just need that that little push, you know, that's going to really set them off and get them already or settle their mind. That's not fair for me to sit there and solve your life issues. That's the one thing. Then you have other people who you will encounter as a light worker who are going to try to keep you down in 3D, who's going to manipulate you, do that service to self thing for them, you know, in order to manipulate you, use that narcissistic way to manipulate you, that mind fuckery, as I call it, gaslighting techniques, which is mindfuckery. Gaslighting is mindfuckery, where they say one thing mean the other and they talk in circles. And for instance, I'll have people, you know, say to me, oh, you know, why are you addressing the dark? You shouldn't be doing that. If you are, you're doing this. You should be doing this. Why don't you do that? You know, you're doing this. You're bringing people down by doing that, even talking about it. They're trying to manipulate me. They're probably trolls on patrol. I'm calling you out. You're either trolls on patrol, whether you're knowing and unknowing. You could be witting and unwitting. You have, you know, demonic energy on you, that narcissistic demonic energy on you, pushing you to do it because it's your ego self talking, your fear talking. And it's better to put your head in the sand and not address things, not address the darker side. The darker side, it's there. It's there to help you grow. So therefore, like I said, you got a pimple, you pop that zit, get the pus out. You got a pustule, you know, incision and drainage it, an abscess, you cut it open, drain it out, throw peroxide, hurts like hell, but you get it clean. That's how you heal. That's the way I address it. Doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't resonate with you. Go right ahead. Keep doing what you're doing, okay? And I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And then you'll have those who, again, through service to self thing, whether they consider themselves light workers or not, because you could be a light worker and have your foot in both realms, you know, service to self and both programs, both agendas, service to self and service to others on a different limit. On a more personal limit, they'll be like, you know, making comments that are completely inappropriate. You know, people are going to come up to you and try to connect to you through that whole light worker thing and be like, oh, you know, I knew in a past life and you were my wife and we make love every night. Delete, delete, delete. That's all I got to say about that. How can we talk? We need to get together. I've known you from a past life. I think you're my soulmate. I think you're my twin flame. You know, oh, last night, did you feel me touching you? Delete, 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 delete. I don't know what's going on in their heads, nor do I care to figure it out. Okay, that's a you problem, not a me problem. Delete, delete, delete. Okay, there'll be many people coming up to you like that. All right, you know, claiming those type of connections. If you don't feel it, you don't feel it. Don't let them guilt you and talk you into feeling something that you're not feeling at all. And there's plenty of people going to say that, oh, you're just throwing up boundaries. You shouldn't have boundaries. Because if you're really service to others, if you're really 5D, you should, you know, just let down all your boundaries. No. Because that's just somebody coming to attach to you to be an energy vampire, to suck and drain you till you got nothing left. Okay. So I hope my oversoul now allows me to go in peace and go meditate like I want to right now. I'm hearing again, this is part of your meditation. Okay. This is part of my meditation, getting this information out. So I hope this helps you, and let my voice ring in your ear, you know, set those healthy boundaries and limits with everyone, especially as you're leveling up, stepping into what you always meant to do and be. And there's a lot of people who are going to need your help out there. A lot of people who are going to be reaching out and clinging out to you. You can't help everyone, and you certainly can't save anyone. All you could do is shine your light, be what it is you are meant to be, and allow them to come to you. You could throw out a line. You could blaze that trail. You could shine your light. But that is it. You can't go down with them, no matter who and what they are. you set the limits, and you set the limits out of unconditional divine love, because it's for your safety, it's for their safety, it's for your highest and best good, it's for their highest and best good. And if you are iffy about it, not sure what to do, like I didn't know what the heck to do with my daughter, especially with the baby, I had to pray and meditate. And yes, you could call on their higher self, call on their oversoul, call on their guardian angels. I certainly do all the time when it involves a sticky situation. I do it all the time when it's not clear to me. So you have every right to do that. You do have rights as a light worker. Okay. Miss V out. Love you. If anyone needs further guidance, you can book an appointment with me at Higher Realm Holistics. I'm here to help and guide for light workers, especially second wavers, who are ready to level up, who is at 0 point, and anyone else who's awakened who needs guidance. You can read all my creds on my website. And if you also would like channel messages and prayers and affirmations, you can go to my blog, which is Divine Young Souls. Okay, and that's also for people who are new to the awakening and the ascension process. Okay, love and light, everyone. Peace. Miss V out. Victory.